So hello students. So let's start with the next topic, that is per unit system. So what is per unit system, and in short it is generally written as P dot U dot in small letters. Okay. Per unit value of a given quantity is the ratio of the actual value in any given unit to the base value in the same unit. Like if you want to calculate the per unit value for any voltage source, then you have to calculate accordingly its ratio, its actual value, like maybe its actual value is 220 volt, okay, divided by its base value, and that base value is selected for the whole system as one base value. Okay, like for whole substation, one base value for voltage is selected as 220 volts, say. Okay, and its actual value may also be 220 volts. Then the per unit value comes out to be 1. Okay, so similarly, and for, let us suppose, for any secondary side of the transformer having the 110 volts, okay, but the base value we selected is 220 volts. So what's the per unit value comes out to be? It comes out to be 0.5 per unit for the secondary side, like this. Okay, so what does this mean? That this base value, this is the common value for the whole system, common value of voltage, or common value of current, or common value of volt amperes, ठीक है, or common value of wattage, like this. ठीक है, so base value is the common value for the whole system, and this one is the actual value for that particular device. ठीक है, what is the actual value for that particular component? Okay, like if you want to calculate for currents, so then what is the actual value of current and what is the base value of current? The base value is the common value for the whole system that we have selected on as per our assumption, assumed value. Okay, and actual value that we have taken as a reading from any ammeter or any voltmeter. So okay, so per unit value, it is the ratio of actual value to the base value. Okay, the main advantage in using the per unit system of computations is that the result that comes out of the sum, product, quotient, etc. of two or more per unit values is expressed in per unit itself. Okay, so this one is very useful. Like if you want to multiply or addition or subtraction of any two quantities of different units, maybe, ठीक है, like one unit is of the power and other unit is of the voltage, but the answer comes out to be in the per unit. There's no answer for like volt, yeah, amperes, like this. So the answer is in the per unit. Okay, so the need for the base values, so what is the need for these base values? The components of various sections of power system may operate at different voltage and power levels, that we know, है ना? Like if we take the example of transformer, the one side of transformer operates at somewhat different voltage, and whereas the other side of the transformer operates at somewhat different voltage. Okay, primary is different, secondary is different. So the various sections of power system may operate at different voltage and power levels. So it will be convenient for analysis of a power system that if the voltage, power, current, and impedance ratings of the components of the power system are expressed with reference to the common value called the base value. So the base value is one of the common value that is selected for the complete power system. Okay, or sometimes we are select the base values in sections also, like we divide a particular power system or particular substation in two different sections or three different sections, and we set the base value for section 1 as somewhat different, and set the base value for another section as somewhat different, like this. So we can also be able to do, or you can set the same common base value for the whole system also. So this is also okay. Okay, so base value is firstly assumed, and then the per unit values are calculated as per their actual values given on that particular device. Okay, so but the simple advantage of using per unit value is that to get the common unit for all the devices or for all the sections of the power system. So that is the main advantage of per unit value, because a very large analysis is required for different devices. So it becomes very much complex if some section have different units and some section have different units. So we want ki all the devices be at some common units. So that's why the per unit values are taken for any power system analysis. Now the merits of per unit system. The per unit value is same for both single phase and three phase system. Okay, whether our system is a single phase or whether our system is a three phase, the per unit value remains same, but the calculation formulas are different. Okay, like this formula is the just the common formula for per unit, but there are some different formulas to calculate the impedance or to calculate the voltage or to calculate the current. So different formulas are there. And for three phase system we know ki that formulas are multiplied by root 3, है ना? And this one is not multiplied by root 3 in case of single phase system. So the formulas are different, but the per unit value that comes out is applied as the single unit per unit. Okay. The per unit value, once expressed on the proper base, will be the same when referred to the either side of the transformer. Okay. Thus, the presence of transformer is totally eliminated. Once the per unit values are calculated with some common base, then it's not ki this side is the primary and this side is the secondary. Some particular section represents with some particular per unit value. The variation of the values is in a smaller range nearby unity. Hence, the errors involved in per unit computations are very less. Now, in our further slides, we have seen one numerical, and we observed from that numerical that the answers for the per unit values comes out to be very small value, like 1 or 1.5 or 1.7 or 0.5 or 0.7. So very small values, because we have chosen the base values accordingly. Okay, we have chosen the base values accordingly, and so the per unit values comes out to be a very small range, and so the errors are also very less. Usually the nameplate ratings will be marked in per unit on the base of the nameplate ratings, etc. Okay, generally most of the devices, while you are going to visit the substation na, so most of the devices, the nameplate that is attached on that particular circuit breaker or transformer, their per unit values are also given along with their base values. Okay, that means this per unit value is calculated on this base value. Okay, and some of the demerits of per unit system are like, if proper bases are not chosen, because choosing the base value is purely on as our assumption. Okay, sometimes we choose the correct base value 220, but sometimes we choose 110 as the base value. Okay, so it may affect some of the results. So if proper bases are not chosen, then the resulting per unit values may be highly absurd, such as 5.8 per unit or 18.9 per unit. So big values, है ना? So, but we don't want these type of large values, and we choose the base values accordingly, that our per unit values comes out to be very small, nearly unity. Okay, nearly unity between 1 to 2 or 0.5, 0.7, 0.8, like this. Okay, if your per unit values comes out to be very high, so that means it's need to change the base value. So this may cause confusion to the user. However, this problem can be avoided by selecting the base MVA near the high rated equipment and convenient base KV in any section of the system. Okay, so generally what we can do na, we choose the base MVA. MVA is a unit for apparent power. ठीक है, that is a mega volt amperes. It's a unit for apparent power, and we generally choose the base MVA as the higher rated equipment. So what is the highest rating of MVA in that power system? So we choose that as a base value generally. ठीक है, like if in any substation or in any power system, transformer is there, circuit breakers are there, generators are there, transmission lines are there, but the highest having the MVA of 11 MVA of generator, one generator, ठीक है, and transformer is 6.6 MVA like this. So we choose the base as 11. The highest MVA that is present in the circuit or present in the system, we choose that MVA as our base value. Okay, and generally the kilovolt base values are chosen as the section wise. Like the all the equipments that are connected to the primary side of the transformer are connected with some other base kVA, and that all the devices connected to the secondary side of the transformer are selected with some other base value. Okay, so the kV base values are generally chosen section wise, but the MVA base value is generally chosen as the highest MVA available in the system. Okay, so these are the some of the merits and demerits of the per unit system. Now the formulation part. Okay, now the first one is the changing the base impedance from one set of base value to the another set of base value. Okay, like if the impedance is given, one set of impedances are given in the one set of base value, and you have to convert it into the some other base values. Okay, so let there is small derivation for that. Let Z is the actual impedance. Okay, and we know that unit for impedance is ohms, and ZB is the base impedance. Okay, then the per unit impedance as per the definition. So what is the per unit impedance as per the definition? That is actual divided by base. Okay, the actual is Z divided by the base, that is ZB. Okay, now Z is the actual divided. Now the base impedance is further written as kV base divided by MVA base. kV base square. It's a square of kV base. And when you evaluate it, no, so you got here the same formula for impedance. So it comes out to be, when you going to evaluate it, so here comes out to be voltage square. Here kilo changes into the mega because square is there. So mega cancel out, and the voltage square is there, one voltage cancel out, and it left with volt upon ampere, that is again the impedance. Okay, so the impedance can be written accordingly. इसको हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं. So the base impedance can be written as kV base square divided by MVA base. Okay, so now take this MVA base in the numerator, so this formula comes. Okay, mark it as equation number 1. Now the equation 1 show that, just write down this formula in your notebooks also. Okay, now here the equation 1 shows that the per unit impedance, this one, the per unit impedance is directly proportional to the base megavolt ampere and inversely proportional to the square of the base voltage. Okay, the per unit impedance is directly proportional to the megavolt amperes and inversely proportional to the square of the base voltage. Okay, now next, using equation 1, we can derive an expression to convert the per unit impedance expressed in one base value to the another base value. Now our motive in this derivation is just to convert the impedance from one base value to the impedance to the another base value. Okay, so let kV base, kilovolt base old and MVA base old represents the old base values, and kV base new and MVA base new represents the new base values. Okay, because initially we assume these base values, but now for any system we want to convert these base values into the new base values. So to avoid all the calculations to done again, we simply using one formula and convert the old base values into the new base values. So for that, let Z per unit old is the per unit impedance of the circuit element calculated on old base value. Okay, like this is the formula to calculate the per unit impedance for any base value. Okay, if you want to calculate the per unit impedance, so this is the formula. Now Z per unit old is the per unit impedance of the circuit element calculated on old base, and Z per unit new is the per unit impedance of the circuit element calculated on the new base. Okay, now the Z per unit old, we are going to apply the same formula. ये जो अभी किया ना हमने, तो we are going to apply the same formula. This is the per unit impedance and this is equal to actual impedance multiplied by MVA base and kilovolt base. But करना क्या है, यहाँ पे old लगा देंगे. Okay, so it comes out to be Z multiplied by MVA base old divided by KV base old square. Okay, so this is the Z per unit old value that is calculated on the old base. Okay, that is calculated on the old base. And similarly, from this formula, the Z comes out to be, Z is the actual value. So Z comes out to be Z per unit old multiplied by KV base old square and divided by MVA base old. Okay, from this formula, we're going to evaluate this Z. So mark this equation as number 2. Now, if the new base values are used to compute the per unit impedance of the circuit element with impedance Z, then equation 1 can be written as. Now we are going to write down this same formula for the new base values. Okay, just see. For Z per unit new, that is the calculation of new per unit value of the impedance based upon the new base values. So it is Z multiplied by MVA base new divided by KV base mu ka square. Okay, mark it as equation number 3. Now simply put down this value of Z, this formula of Z actual value, that is in the form of old base values here in the equation number 3. Okay, now on substituting for Z from equation number 2 in equation number 3, we get, so Z per unit new is equal to Z per unit old into KV base old square divided by MVA base old multiplied by MVA base new, this one, divided by KV base new square. Okay, and further more simplification, this can be written as Z per unit old multiplied by KV base old divided by KV base new whole square multiplied by MV base new divided by MVA base old, this one. Okay, mark it as equation number 4. And so this equation number 4 is used to convert the per unit impedance expressed on one base value to the another base value. Okay, so this one is one very important formula that is generally used in our calculations, in our numericals, further very large numericals based upon these formulas. Okay, so remember this formula, how to calculate the per unit value of the impedance with the new base to the in reference with the old base. So this is the formula, just note it down also. And now this is the another list of formulas. Let's read them. The formulas related to the various quantities. The first one is the base current in amperes. So how to calculate the base current? So generally in our power system, the voltages are given, volt amperes are given, but the currents are not given. Okay, so to calculate the base current in amperes, that is base KVA divided by base voltage in kilovolts. Okay, so when you're going to solve this, you get amperes. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate the base current. So next, base impedance. The base impedance is base voltage in volts divided by base current in amperes. Okay, impedance we know, na? It's the voltage upon current. This gives you impedance. Okay, now simply put down the formula of base current here in the denominator. So base current kya tha? So it is base kVA divided by base voltage in kilovolts. So simply putting here, so base current, the formula, net formula comes out to be base voltage in kilovolts square divided by base kVA into 1000 आ जाएगा साथ. ठीक है. Now, next is the base power in kilowatts. So base power in kilowatts is equal to the base kVA. Okay. Next, the per unit impedance of a circuit element. So per unit impedance is the main definition, that is actual impedance divided by the base impedance in ohms. Same unit hone chahiye. So base current in amperes. So this one is actually for the three phase. These formulas, these are for the three phase. And for three phase, like for single phase, it is simple base kVA upon base voltage. So here comes out to be base kVA divided by under root 3 into the base voltage in kilovolts. Okay, this is for three phase. And base impedance, so simply putting this formula like as we done here, so it comes out to be base voltage in kV divided by root 3 whole square into 1000 divided by base kVA by 3. Okay, next base impedance. So this is the base voltage in kV square divided by base kVA into 1000. So per unit impedance of a circuit element, it is the actual impedance in ohms into the base kVA divided by the base voltage square into 1000. Okay, so these are some of the formulas to calculate the base per unit values or base values for voltage, current, power, etc. Now the three phase per unit system, like in three phase system, we know that P is the active power and Q is here the reactive power, and here S is the apparent power. Okay, so we know that the formula for P is VI cos phi and the formula for S is V into I. Okay, so real power can be written as S cos of phi, and similarly the reactive power can be written as S sine of phi. S is the apparent power. Now the apparent power is now equals S base value for three phase. Okay, the apparent power base value for the apparent power, it can be calculated as root 3 into V base I base. These are the common formulas, okay, that we have already used in our power systems. So it is root 3 V base I base. So from here I base comes out to be S base divided by V base into root 3. The same comes out from here. And this gives you the 1 per unit. Okay. And next, Z base. So Z base is equals to V base divided by I base into root 3. Okay, for the three phase system. Okay. And it can also be written as V base square divided by S base. And similarly, Y base, Y is the admittance, that is the reciprocal of the impedance. So Y base is equals to 1 upon Z base. So these are some of the formulas for the three phase system. Now the next is the per unit system. Simple numerical example is there of the three phase system. For this, consider a three phase transformer with the rating 700 MVA. Okay, and a secondary voltage 145 kilovolts. Determine I base, Z base and Y base. Here we are going to apply the same formulas. These formulas we are going to apply here. Okay, so there is no obligation to choose the transformer rating as the base values, but it is an option using the transformers rated values of apparent power and secondary voltage. So we are going to select these values as our base values. Okay, so S base, that is the apparent power base value 700 MVA, and V base we are going to select as 145 kilovolt. Okay, so correspondingly, how to calculate I base, current base value? So it is S base divided by V base into root 3. It's the same formula. Okay, this one is the same formula. And just put down the values. S base is 700. V base is 145 into root 3. So this will gives you this answer. This is the answer for the base value of the current. Okay, and similarly Z base, this is equal to V base divided by I base into root 3. Just put down the formulas and values. You got 30.1 ohms. Okay, and one thing to note down here ki the units for the base values are the standard units that are used for any particular like current or impedance, but the unit for per unit values is the PU always. Okay, here we are going to calculate the base values. Okay, so that's why the units are in like in kiloamperes is there, here is the ohms is there. Now the Y base is the reciprocal of the base impedance. Okay, 0.0332 Siemens. Okay, so this is how to calculate the base value for current, impedance and admittance when the base value for apparent power and voltage is given. Okay, so these are the formulas. Now this one is the another numerical, but before starting with this numerical, let's do some poll questions. Now let's start with this numerical. So you have to draw the equivalent impedance diagram for the given example of a power system. So this single line diagram is given in the question. And here is one generator with MVA, 90 MVA is there, 22 kV is there. Its per unit reactance is given. Okay, that is 0.18. This is already given. And there are two transmission lines, line 1 and line 2 is there on this bus number 1, between bus number 1. Okay, and transformer T1 is there, transformer T2 is there. There is one transmission line 220 kV pe. And on the second transmission line, transformer T3 and transformer T4 is there, and the rating for transmission line is 110 kV. Okay, there is bus number 2 and one motor load is connected on the receiving end, so there it is 66.5 MVA and 10.45 kilovolts, and per unit reactance is given 0.185. And another three phase load is connected, so that is the 10.45 kV, okay, which absorbs 57 MVA, 0.6 power factor lagging. And the ratings for the transformers are also given in the question. So transformer ratings are 50 MVA, okay, and it is the like this one is the step up transformer 22/220 kV, this one T1. Okay, and its per unit reactance is 0.10. Okay. Similarly for transformer T2, it is 40 MVA and it one is step down transformer. We get 220 to 11 kV. Like here it is 220, here it is 220, so the transmission line receives 220. Okay, and this one is step down transformer with per unit reactance as 0.06. And similarly T3 transformer, this one. So this one is again a step up transformer, that is step ups the 22 volt kV. So generator is our generator is 22 kV. Okay, so that's why the primary sides of this T1 and T3 are 22. See here 22, 22, because the generator is 22 kV. Okay, this first transformer step ups the up to 220. Third transformer step up the voltage to 110. Okay, so the transmission lines are 220 and 110, and the primaries of T2 and T4, T2 ki primary it is 220 kV and the primary of T4 is 110. Okay, see here. But the outputs for these two T2 and T4 transformers is 11 kV. Okay, again step down transformers are there, and that 11 kV is fed to this motor load and three phase load, which works on 10.45 kV and 10.45 kV. So these are the ratings. And one transmission line 1, it has the impedance of 48.4 ohms, and transmission line 2 has the impedance of 65.43 ohms. These are the actual values. Okay, and after solving or after converting this single line diagram into the reactance diagram, so we got approximately this type of diagram. ठीक है. Like this generator is converted into the one voltage source is there and one reactance in series. Okay. Then there is bus number 1, same bus number 1. Then transformer with one reactance. Okay. Here it is written as X. X is the reactance for transformer. XT1. This one is T. Okay. This is not plus. XT1. This one is XT3. This is the bus number 3. Bus number 4. Here is the XL1. L1 means the transmission line 1 that works on 220 kV. And similarly, XL2, transmission line 2, XT2, transformer 2, T4, transformer 4. This is the second bus. And here is the motor representation on the reactance diagram. X and in series with the voltage source. And one is the three-phase load with resistance and reactance. So in this way, we got the answer. But before drawing this final diagram, we have to calculate these X. Okay, we have to calculate these all X in the per unit systems. Okay, let's start with the calculation part now. So the step number 1, assume a system base. Okay, assuming the system that is the base MVA. The first step is to select the base MVA. So if you see this, if you see this single line diagram, so here it is 90 MVA. The transformers are 50, 40, 40 MVA. Okay, the motor is 66.5 MVA. Okay, here it is 57 MVA, and the highest out of all these is 90 MVA. But we are going to choose our base values as 100 MVA. So you can choose the base value to the highest value given in the system, or some units higher than that also. Okay, so here in this numerical, we are choosing the base value as 100 MVA, and this is a random assumption and chosen to make calculations easy when calculating the per unit impedances. So the S base that we are chosen as 100 MVA. Okay, now the next step is step number 2, identify the voltage base. The second step is to select the base voltage. Now the base voltage is selected as per the section wise. Okay. So for this side of the system, we are selecting some different base voltage. For this side of the system, we are selecting different base voltage, and for this side of the system, we are selecting different base voltage. Like for this one, and here if you see now, here it is voltage is 22 kV. Both the transformers primaries are 22 kV, and so we are going to choose the base voltage on this side is as 22 kV. Okay, and so for on this middle section, the line 1 works on 220 kV. Okay, here the line 2 works on 110 kV. So here the further sections are also distributed. Like line 1, the base voltage we are going to choose is 220 kV. And for line 2, we are choosing the base voltage as 110 kV. Okay, here 2 different sections are also there. And to this side of the section, we are choosing the voltage as 11 kV base value. So in this example, we are dividing the complete system into 4 sections for choosing the base voltage. Okay, I'm just going to read this now. The base voltage in the system is determined by the transformer. Okay. For example, with 222/220 kV voltage rating of T1 transformer, the V base on the primary side of T1 is 22 kV, while on the secondary side is 220 kV. So it doesn't matter what the voltage rating of the other components are encompassed by the voltage base zone. Okay, so our main motive is to select the base voltage as per the rating of the transformer. Okay, so what is the rating of the transformer? We are going to select the base voltage accordingly. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the voltage rating for the other devices is there. We are going to select the base voltage as per the rating of the transformer. Now the next step number 3, calculations. Now the base impedance is calculated using the following formula. So we know that Z base is equal to kV base square divided by Z base MVA. So this is the formula that we have studied earlier. So for the transmission line 1, firstly the Z base is equals to, see here, the transmission line 1 works on the kV base is 220 and MVA base is 100 for all. Okay. So for line 1, Z base is equals to 220 square divided by 100. So it comes out to be 484 ohms. Okay. For transmission line 2, so Z base comes out to be 110 square divided by 100, comes out to be 121 ohms. Okay. For three phase load, Z base is equals to 11 square divided by 100. 100 is the MVA. 11 is the base value chosen for the three phase load. Okay, see here. This one is our three phase load. And what is the base value in this section? This is 11 kV. Okay. So it is 11 square divided by 100. That comes out to be 1.21. So these are the base values for transmission line 1, transmission line 2 and three phase load. Now next, calculate the per unit impedances. Now the next step is to calculate the per unit impedance. Like the formula for per unit impedance is Z per unit is Z actual divided by Z base. So this is the formula as per the definition. Now another one formula that we have derived in our derivation, that is Z per unit new is equal to Z per unit old into Z base new divided by S base old. S is the apparent power, that is MVA, and V base old divided by V base new whole square. Okay. The voltage ratio in equation number 3 is not equivalent to the transformer's voltage ratio. So it is the ratio of the transformer voltage ratings on the primary or secondary side of the system, nominal voltage on the same side, because we are choosing the different voltages, voltage base. Okay, so that's why it is required to calculate this. Now for the transmission line 1, okay, for transmission line 1, so what is the Z base? Actual value formula is, this is the formula, actual divided by base. And for transmission line 1, what is the base? 484. What is the actual? See here, the actual value is 48.4. Okay, actual value for transmission line 1 is 48.4 and the line for line 2 is 65.43. Okay. Now just come to this slide. Here it is. Now the per unit value of reactance for transmission line is 48.4 divided by 484. Okay, this is the actual value that is given in the question. This is the calculated base value that gives you 0.1 per unit. And similarly for the transmission line 2, actual value is given in the question 65.43 and the base value calculated is, see here, for transmission line 2 it is 121. Okay, so 65.43 divided by 121, it gives you 0.5 per unit. So these are the per unit reactance values for transmission line 1 and transmission line 2. Okay, now for the three phase load. For three phase load, power factor is given. Okay, power factor is given in the question. See here, it is given in the question 0.6 power factor lagging. Here MVA is 57 MVA. Here voltage is 10.45 kV. Okay, but the base is chosen 11 kV. Okay, and this is our calculated value, Z base 1.21 ohms. Okay, now come here. Here. Okay, so for three phase load, so it comes out to be 57 angle 53.13. So this 57 is given. So Z actual value comes out to be, so it is V square by S. Firstly, we have to calculate the actual value. Only then we are be able to calculate the per unit value. The actual value is V square. V is for the three phase load 10.45 square divided by S, that is 57. This one angle 53.13. Okay, so this gives you this answer. And now the per unit impedance. So this one is our actual. This one divided by 1.21. That is the base value. This one. This is the base for the three-phase load 1.21. Okay. So this is how to calculate the per unit impedance value for the three-phase load. Okay. Now what left? Transformers are left and generators are left. Okay. Now for generator, okay. For generator, our actual value that is given is 0.18. Here is the actual, this is the new MVA base. This is the old MVA base, 100 upon 90 into 22 by 22 ka square. Okay, see here in the question. See here. So X per unit it is given 0.18, voltage 22, and our assumed base in this region is also 22. Okay, MVA given is 90, and but our assumed base MVA is 100. Okay, so by applying now in this, you have to apply this formula, this one. Okay, so Z per unit new, new value of per unit impedance as per our new basis. So this is the old value of per unit impedance. So you have to apply this formula. Okay. So here it is 0.18 into 100 by 90 into 22 by 22 square, and this will gives you 0.2 per unit. Okay, now similarly for transformer T1, so here it is 0.1, 100 is our assumed, 50 is the given. Okay, 22 by 22, because on the primary side here it is 22 and 22. So it gives you 0.2 per unit. And similarly for transformer T2, 0.06, these values, na, this 0.1, 0.06, 0.064, 0.08, these are given in the question. See here again. These are given in the question. See here. 0.1, 0.06, 0.064, 0.08. These are given in the question. And also for the motor, 0.185. Okay. So just firstly divide these MVAs, then multiply with square of the KVs, and you got these per unit values for the 4 transformers and 1 motor load. Okay. Now, after doing all these calculations, you can simply draw this reactance diagram, and this will be your final answer. Okay. So simply draw this circuit and then apply these values here. Okay, like transformer XT1 here, 0.2 per unit is there, no? So you can write it like J.2 because this one is the reactance. Okay. Here it is J.15. Here it is J.16. Here it is J.2. J represents your imaginary number. Okay, your imaginary number, lagging load, reactive load. Okay, so transformers transmission lines J.1 and J.5. See here, J.1 and J.5. Okay, for generator it is J.2. This one in series with any voltage source. Okay, motor J.25 in series with the voltage source. Okay, and three-phase load. This one 0.95 plus J 1.2667. Okay, 0.95 plus J 1.2667. So this is how to write the final readings on the circuit diagram for the reactance diagram. Okay, and how to convert any single line diagram into the reactance diagram after performing the various calculations related to the per unit system. So the first step is to calculate the base values. Okay, then the first step is to select the base values, then calculate the base values. Okay, then calculate the per unit values. Okay, and then finally calculate the new per unit values. Okay, some values are given in the question, but you have to calculate the new per unit values as per your assumptions. Okay, so this is the very important numerical related to the conversion of single line diagram into the reactance diagram using per unit systems. Okay, thank you. The next topic after this numerical is the modeling of generator and synchronous motor. That means that how the generator and synchronous motor are symbolized in the reactance diagrams or impedance diagrams. So it's a very simple topic. So generally the generator and the motors are symbolized as one voltage source in series with resistance and reactance. Okay, one voltage source in series with resistance and reactance. And similarly for motor also, one voltage source in series with resistance and reactance. Okay. The current is given by the generator, whereas motor can withdraw the current, okay, receive the current. And next for the modeling of transformer and transmission line. So this is the way how the transformer is represented for any impedance diagram, and this is the way how the transmission line is represented. But generally in the reactance diagrams now we ignore these resistances and these parallel combinations. We can generally represent the transformer as simple reactance, and for the transmission line also with the simple reactance, and we ignore these resistances and capacitances, and we are left with only these reactance calculations only. Okay, so this is the modeling for the transformer and transmission lines, and how these are represented in while drawing the reactance diagrams or impedance diagrams. Okay, yes, thank you.